Most people imagine the Sahara as nothing but endless golden dunes, baked under a merciless sun. Tired camels drift slowly across the horizon, and deep silence swallows everything in sight around them. But beneath this scorched and barren wasteland lie astonishing secrets that could rewrite everything we know. Each new discovery tells a completely different story, one of ancient oceans, lost civilizations, and cosmic catastrophes. The Sahara was never a lifeless void. It simply buried its memories beneath the burning sand. Our story begins in space. In 1965, aboard the Gemini 4 spacecraft orbiting Earth, as astronauts flew over Mauritania, they spotted a bizarre circular structure staring back at them. It looked like a giant eye gazing into the cosmos, 40 kilometers wide, with concentric rings. From ground level, it appeared as ordinary dunes and rocky highlands, nothing extraordinary at all. Wild theories erupted immediately. Some claimed it was the lost city of Atlantis beneath the sand. Others linked it to extraterrestrial visitors or sacred ancient worship sites built by long-forgotten civilizations. Geologists eventually uncovered the truth. Millions of years ago, deep underground magma pushed upward, slowly. The magma lifted rock layers into a massive dome, but no volcanic eruption ever actually occurred. After the magma cooled, wind, water, and temperature slowly carved away the softer rock layers. Harder rock survived the ages, forming those concentric rings. Nature sculpted this masterpiece over endless millennia. If the giant's eye is nature's signature, then Whale Valley in Egypt unlocks something far deeper. 150 kilometers from Cairo, surface temperatures stay above 45 degrees year-round. Even the toughest desert plants barely survive here. Only bare gravel stretches in every direction. Yet beneath this lifeless terrain, hundreds of enormous skeletons have been sleeping for tens of millions of years. Modern archaeologists finally brought them to light. These are fossils of ancient whales, resting in sand. They are the most direct proof that the Sahara Desert was once a vast, thriving ocean. In 1902, Egyptian archaeologists first found scattered fragments of massive bones in this valley. Initially, they were mistaken for ancient elephant, or perhaps dinosaur remains, and nobody bothered to investigate further. Decades later, in the 1970s, an international team revealed the shocking truth about these bones. The fragments belonged to whales, ocean creatures that somehow ended up deep inside an arid desert. Hundreds of complete, ancient whale fossils were unearthed, some reaching 18 meters in total length. Teeth, vertebrae, and fin bones remained remarkably intact, as if they had only been sleeping briefly. The most astonishing find was tiny limb traces preserved on some of the ancient whale skeletons. These whales were Basilosaurus, fierce ocean predators that ruled the seas 40 million years ago. Up to 18 meters long, with razor-sharp teeth, they hunted everything in the ancient Tethys Sea. Their small limbs were not for swimming. They were evolutionary remnants from ancestors who walked on land. These tiny limbs retained complete bone structures, clearly proving that whale ancestors were once land-dwelling mammals. Over millions of years, their limbs gradually shrank as they adapted fully to life in the ocean. This discovery confirmed the theory that whales originated on land, filling a crucial evolutionary gap. Before this, scientists relied only on genetic research. They lacked direct fossil evidence for this theory. These Saharan fossils revealed the exact transitional form between terrestrial mammals and modern ocean whales. Scientists could now trace how limbs flattened into flippers and tails evolved into powerful tail fins. Marine sediments found within the fossil bones confirmed these creatures truly lived in ancient ocean waters. By carefully analyzing these sediments, researchers reconstructed the ancient Tethys Sea's temperature, salinity, and entire ecosystem. The ancient Tethys Sea was warm and rich with life, providing abundant food for massive marine creatures. It was a paradise for ancient whales, a breeding ground sustained by warm currents and plentiful plankton. The fossils also unlock geological secrets. Their burial depth matches the African-European plate collision timeline perfectly. 40 million years ago, the African plate collided with the European plate, forcing the Tethys Sea to retreat. Where a warm ocean once thrived, dry land gradually emerged, beginning the Sahara's long transformation into desert. But the Sahara's secrets extend beyond geology. Human civilization also left unforgettable marks upon this land. In Algeria's Tassili Plateau, surrounded by ancient rocks and deep canyons, another surprise awaits discovery. Thousands of murals cover the rock walls here, vivid records of life from a completely different era. In 1933, a French officer stumbled upon these paintings while sheltering from the desert heat. At first, they seemed like natural rock patterns. Later investigations revealed their extraordinary cultural significance. The murals depict people herding spotted cattle and hunting giraffes and antelopes across green grasslands. Elephants and rhinoceroses appear in the paintings, animals that require enormous amounts of water to survive. Red boats full of people sail across waters that are now completely dry and buried under sand. This stands in shocking contrast to the barren, waterless desert that covers this same land today. In the 1950s, Henry Lode's expedition confirmed that this desert was once a green savanna. Rivers and lakes once filled this region, including a massive lake even larger than the Caspian Sea. Abundant water nourished countless species of animals and plants across this now vanished fertile landscape. Then the climate shifted dramatically. Oases dried up, lakes vanished, and grasslands slowly turned to sand. The murals changed too. Joyful hunting scenes gave way to images of war, conflict, and desperation. People fought each other for the last remaining drops of water, scarring both bodies and stone walls. Eventually, survivors had no choice. They migrated eastward toward the life-giving waters of the Nile River. Some scholars believe these climate refugees gave birth to ancient Egyptian civilization along the Nile's banks. Perhaps the pyramids and temples were monuments to nostalgia, memories of their lost green homeland. Deep in the Sahara's history hides yet another forgotten civilization, the mysterious kingdom of Garamantes. In 2011, satellite images revealed over 100 fortified settlements buried beneath the Libyan desert. Neat streets, fortresses, and watchtowers emerged from the sand, remnants of a once thriving desert kingdom. The Romans dismissed them as barbarians, but the Garamantes harbored a secret that built an empire. They mastered the art of extracting underground water, building complex networks of subterranean water channels. Ancient water hidden beneath sand dunes was drawn to the surface, irrigating fields of wheat and grapes. In the heart of a desert, they built a prosperous civilization, complete with writing and metallurgical technology. But this civilization was doomed by its own foundation. Their water was ancient fossil water, never replenished. As populations grew and farmlands expanded, the water table dropped steadily, year after relentless year. Channels dried up, oases withered away, and the desert eventually swallowed their cities without a trace. The Sahara also hides evidence of a cosmic catastrophe, a secret locked inside a pharaoh's tomb. In 1922, Howard Carter opened Tutankhamun's tomb and found a brooch inlaid with yellow glass. Chemical analysis revealed it was Libyan desert glass, formed only at 2000 degrees Celsius, instantly. No volcano or wildfire could ever reach such extreme temperatures. Something far more violent created this glass. 29 million years ago, a massive asteroid exploded kilometers above the desert surface with devastating force. The energy released equaled a hydrogen bomb, instantly melting desert sand into glass over thousands of kilometers. Remarkably, no impact crater was ever found. Only scattered glass shards and abnormal isotope traces remain. Ancient Egyptians revered this glass as solidified sunlight from the sun god Ra, embedding it in royal jewelry. Beneath the modern Sahara, one final treasure endures, the vast Nubian sandstone aquifer, deep underground. This colossal underground reservoir holds roughly 2.5 million cubic kilometers of ancient freshwater. It is fossil water, stored since the ancient wet period, older than the Egyptian pyramids themselves. Libya's great man-made river project built thousands of kilometers of pipelines to pump this water above ground. But the Nubian aquifer cannot naturally replenish itself. Every liter pumped is gone forever, never returning. The water table drops continuously. Overexploitation may eventually trigger seawater intrusion, poisoning this last reserve. The Sahara's story is one of endless transformation, from ocean to oasis, from civilization to silent ruin. It witnessed whales swimming in warm seas, ancient humans singing beside lakes, and civilizations rising and falling. Geologists predict that in 15,000 years, rains will return, and this desert may bloom once more. The desolation we see today is merely one fleeting moment in Earth's vast and ancient history. There is no eternal prosperity, nor eternal desolation. Only by respecting nature can we avoid repeating history. Everything we cherish today may one day become a secret, buried silently beneath the whispering sands of time. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.